These suckers did.
Jesus Christ, bro. I just looked up list of the most expensive video game acquisitions.
They're number one.
They are number 1 through like 30. The next amount, they got acquisitions with deal value of at least $1 billion. The next highest amount is when Take-Two acquired Zynga. It was for $12 billion. Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard for $68 billion.
70 billions.
So that's a difference of $56 billion.
Bro. Alright, well, yesterday we was talking about Activision's antics and wildness that they were these suckers needed to be ostracized and chastised for. Then the very next day, Microsoft buys the entire company.
Next day.
For $70 billion.
You said, you know what?
All cash. According to CNBC, it was an all cash deal.
They brought a suitcase to the
that is no, they brought a truck to they bought a freaking Brinks truck
full of pennies
and crashed it straight through the front doors of Activision.
It said, now get out. Bruh.
An all cash deal. The price means Microsoft will pay $95 per share for Activision. Holy moly. Activision stock will ended up the day closing at 82.31 per share. Okay, they got a little deal. Microsoft share closed more than 2%. Oh man. This is just this is the largest in general, bro.
I'm starting to think in period because
it says this would be the largest acquisition to date.
Because I'm looking up
permanently to date,
like overall for any entertainment medium.
Bro, the second one is LinkedIn in 2016 for $26.2 billion, bro.
Dear God.
See, and people be talking about video games, and like I know it's been like a topic of like, are they good or not? It's like the money that you can acquire.
They are the biggest
toys. With these toys,
they're the biggest entertainment medium. So the kind of people who are sitting here going, "Oh, they're like these are still like toys. They ain't worth much." Those people are so far out of touch. This is
as you can see, $1 trillion industry, $1 billion industry, man.
God.
Oh my God.
Dang.
Like just it being all cash. Like they're not like acquiring like and and who is this money going to?
That's the thing I don't like.
Who gets this money? Who gets the? Because
that's what I don't like. Because we already know that Activision is iffy with their shares.
So the thing is, if they're buying all of the shares, so it's basically just gonna it's gonna be a forced payout to all of the shareholders, or is it? Or is it just gonna? Are they gonna keep the market and then just end up selling the going 50% and selling the other 49, or however they want to do it?
It would most certainly be a payout to the shareholders, whether or not that means anything for like the executives at like Blizzard. I am looking at this and I'm going like I really don't give a crap about the shareholders. I mean, they're going to make the money that they make. So of course they're going to get a big payout. But I'm looking at this and I'm just like, I hate the fact that Bobby Kotick is going to get money off of this. And that's if they they're going to pay him out because he does hold some share.
He's probably one of the biggest shareholders.
Yeah, so he's going to get some many billions out of this. Which I hate.
This man gets a whole severance package.
He gets
on top of probably another severance package.
He gets off scot-free. And I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that they would not keep this man. Like, they're not going to keep this man on.
No, remember we were talking about that. Were we talking about that? Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. About the majority of mergers. Like, when companies merge, people getting fired. Like, it's like a given. Like, they merge, and then the accountants and auditors doing all these speculations, saying how much money they're gonna spend, and then CEO's like, nope, we ain't spending that. We firing this whole department. Get them out of here. We'll do with what half the people. So I could speculate, as soon as these suckers get this deal rolling, and same way they did EA did to freaking pandemic. They gonna merge later on this year. All these dudes gonna be gone. Bobby's gonna step down if he don't step down earlier.
Yeah, that's gonna be a forced step down at the very least, because he is still considered CEO, and I guess he would just go down to like president of Activision Blizzard. But if he doesn't resign, that's gonna be like a forced resignation. But like, I still hate I still absolutely hate the fact that he is absolutely getting a payout out of this.
Man.
Jesus.
So, with this acquisition, I would like to remind people of what these suckers are getting.
Oh yes,
like they're getting your baby.
Let's actually go down one.
Big Overwatch.
Activision Blizzard was the biggest video game company out of all of them. And you look at all the games they got. They got World of Warcraft, which is still a money spinner. They got Call of Mother freaking Duty. They got Diablo, and they're Activision Blizzard King, which means they also own Candy Crush, which is the most profitable game on mobile devices.
I think that game, and no, that's probably like the pioneer of, and I want to say maybe Temple Run, but not as big as Candy Crush. Candy Crush probably made the most money on a mobile as a mobile game.
As a mobile game,
as a game. Forget mobile, probably as a game, next to like Fortnite and maybe Fortnite, 2K, COD, and Candy Crush. Those are like the.
I think they actually have the stats for it. I still think like GTA is.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was about to say GTA too, in terms of like aftermarket purchases.
Yeah,
but
if I look at most profitable mobile games, list of highest grossing mobile games, they got Arena of Valor. I didn't know they made that much money. Clash of Clans. Where's Candy Crush? Candy Crush is number 7. Their revenue is $7 billion. Okay, dang. I actually didn't realize there was this many above them. Like PUBG, Pokemon Go, Clash of Clans. All these games are above.
They got Diablo.
They got Diablo.
StarCraft. They own Treyarch, Infinity Ward.
Yep. And Sledgehammer.
They own Sledgehammer Games.
Goodness gracious.
Boy. Now let's talk about what this means to our blue buddy Sony. If this isn't a punch in the freaking mouth, like, cause Sony, they've been twiddling their thumbs, like making people beg them to do the bare minimum. And I also saw somebody talking about how, like, Phil Spencer, every time he did like an interview or he talked about something, he would always talk about like the competition in relation to what they're doing and never what Microsoft was doing. Like, he would say, Sony doesn't want to do crossplay. This is up to our not. I don't know if he said Sony specifically, but he was like our competitors. They're not our doors open to crossplay. This and that. You know, gaming should be for everyone. And then this sucker double back. Gaming for everybody. Nobody playing COD. If you ain't got an Xbox, you ain't playing COD.
Well,
and I'm for sure that he's not. This is gonna be exclusive, bro. It gotta be.
I don't know. Now that's kind of the thing. It's weird in this situation because these games are as big as they are. Like this ain't like a Gears of War situation. Like these games are as big as they are. Like Call of Duty is
they're top sellers every year.
Like every year.
Every single year. Like, bro, Microsoft is gonna make that money back.
It's like you would
buy this year. This year they're gonna make that money back. Probably.
Oh heck yeah! Oh heck yes!
They're gonna make that money back this year.
If not, like I don't know about this year, but definitely in like the next 5, they would make that money back hand over fist, and that would be a hell of that.
Because I think was also gonna push this, because you know how Microsoft gets with their freaking marketing team. And COD is already marketed out the booty hole. Like they will pay every celebrity. They will pay every beverage. They will do whatever to push COD. And Xbox kids, I think the numbers for COD is gonna be crazy this year, just because Xbox is now stamped over the title.
And that's kind of the thing. Where I look at a series like Call of Duty, and I'm just I look at that and I just go, I can't imagine them making that solely exclusive to the Xbox, because all it would result in is diminished returns, because of course Call of Duty is like the most profitable game year after year. But if you're going to restrict it to just a few consoles, I don't know if I see them doing that.
I think they didn't pay $70 billion to get it, exclusive rights for 3 or 5 months, and then it's going to Sony. Like, Xbox hates Sony. But think about it though. That's just considering. They hate them. It'll probably go to Nintendo. It'll probably go freaking Stadia. They will send COD everywhere. Sony, they're like, you ain't getting.
But that's just considering Call of Duty though, and that's just because Call of Duty is as profitable as it is.
But Call of Duty is probably a fat chunk of Sony sales. Like while they busy making PS4s for 2022, Xbox is out here buying studios. Jesus. The biggest studio, one of the biggest juggernauts in the gaming industry.
Yeah, the biggest gaming studio by far.
And PlayStation talking about, we're making more PS4s. What are you, man?
Now I will say, I don't know if Sony has something to split about. Like, if this isn't a punch in good, at the very least, it's a tap on the nutsack, man. Because
this is not a tap, bruh. This is Call of Duty. They have Call of Duty. World of Warcraft. What? People have been playing World of Warcraft probably before I was born.
Yeah, but the one thing at least what we can say about WoW is that it's a PC game through and through. So even if that were to get released on console, somebody's playing it on console.
No, but I mean, just to have that's a constant money machine.
That is a constant money machine, yes.
World of Warcraft is not going away. That's a money machine. COD is a money machine. Diablo, that's a money machine. Bro, when they drop Overwatch 2, their pockets are gonna explode when Overwatch 2 drops.
They gonna
people
be fat.
People have been itching for Overwatch 2.
But this is that brings me to another question, the biggest question I've had all day. This is $70 billion. Where Microsoft get that money from?
What you mean?
They got it. I know that they have it, but $70 billion.
Bro, you have to think about it.
But that's the thing. It's I was thinking about it. I was sitting there thinking, It's like, I don't know if this would, if them pockets was just that fat, they would have been acquiring studios left and right just from the offset. I'm thinking these boys started to get more flush with money, and I'm sitting there thinking, why? Bruh, I'm sitting there wondering if Game Pass was really that profitable for these dudes.
Bro, Game Pass. Think about Netflix. Game Pass and Netflix are probably the closest thing I could compare it to. Well, without it being like available to everyone. That's probably the closest thing I could say. You know, anybody can download Netflix, but you know, if you got a PS4 or PS5, you can't get Game Pass. But bro, almost, just think about it. Probably, I want to say 70%, or let's go even lower. You can even say 50% of Xbox users, not including PC, because I could guarantee people on PC got Game Pass, and it's kind of hard to get a number on how many PC users it is. I think.
Yeah.
I know you can get it per you can kind of see how well they probably have the numbers.
They would definitely have
they probably have PC Game Pass numbers.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
But just think about 50% of Xbox users, if that, have a $10 to, I think the other one's $15 subscription that they just had for. They're probably not even planning it. This is like, oh, you know, I'm gonna just keep using
like
I've
had mine like all the way straight through since I got it, which has been at least 2 years, and I definitely don't play it all the time.
Right, just like Netflix. You got Netflix or these other streaming services. People got them. They don't watch everything that comes out on there, man. They'll watch, like me, I'll watch couple movies, couple shows, and then that thing is just collecting dust on my phone or on my freaking computer until they drop another show that's worth watching. But other than that, people not really investing time into that service as they should. But
yeah, but it's like, it's even
but people
bigger
got
than that.
but they got the service though.
Exactly.
They got
and it's like even bigger than that, man. It's like you know, like anytime gaming studio puts out a console, like those consoles are lost leaders. Xbox didn't make any money off the consoles they sold. PS4, PlayStation didn't make off any money off of the PS5s they sold. They were trying to make that money on the back end with games, but the games ain't really been selling all that well on the consoles like recently. So it's like they're not making any money off consoles. They're barely making any money off of games. But Microsoft now has just the dosh, the absolute cash. They came in with bags of cash straight from the vault, like smell like the mint cash. It came in there with bags of cash, $68 billion to buy Activision.
$68.7
billion to buy Activision.
That 0.7 is some millies.
So imagine
that 0.7
right?
is a lot of millies.
That's 700 million. Imagine you Sony, right? And you looking at that and you thinking, oh, okay, at the very least, you know, we might be ahead of them, but you know, at the very least, we neck and neck. We neck and neck on this endeavor, right? We're trying to beat one out over the other. And Sony looking at this big ass acquisition that Microsoft just made, and they sitting there going, where did all that money come from? What has Xbox done? What has Microsoft done in the last few years to where they can have that kind of money, just enough money to blow on a gaming studio, the biggest gaming studio, the biggest acquisition of all time? It's like, where does Microsoft get that
the
money?
biggest acquisition, period.
So Sony is probably kicking themselves, with both feet in the ass at the same time, sitting there going, was the service really that profitable? And of course, Microsoft has like all this other divisions and everything like that. I'm sure they have the money, but this is a hell of an acquisition to make, a hell of a risk to make, just for like handing over that much money to buy a studio that you were hoping would be profitable. It's like you have.
But the thing is, when you have this analytical, historical data, you don't have to guess. It's like, bro, COD has been number one for the past 10 to 20 years. Not 20, but like 10, probably 10 years.
But even then, like having the wherewithal to to hand that money over, like in the first place, like $68 billion. You go to Sony, you ask them, what the hell would you buy $68 billion for? And they probably look at you like halfway crazy. It's like, that's a lot of money. But Microsoft got it, and they just bought Activision Blizzard.
Not to
the
Big
biggest
Philly.
company.
Not to Big Philly.
So they are probably kicking themselves upside the ass right now. Going, dang.
See,
Maybe if we jumped on that service a little.
And I believe I think this acquisition is part of Sony's fault. They're partially to blame. They can't blame nobody but themselves. It's like, bro, like people been telling you, like, hey man, your PS Now is kind of lacking. Like you don't have any games on here. Xbox like, okay, all the new Xbox exclusives coming straight to Game Pass day one.
Mm-hmm.
Sony people are like, hey, PS Now, maybe you should get some of the games, get a PC app. Maybe it's easier to port. We don't have to have the new games, just have all the old PS2 games. Even
maybe start putting some of your games on PC, just in general.
They said no. Stop asking me.
They said
Xbox was like, okay, Game Pass, it's on PC now. And then everybody was jumping on Sony. See, Xbox, they want to play with everyone. They're play everywhere, play anytime. And now I feel like Xbox is gonna hit a loop. I feel like this is the only way they're gonna really capitalize on this move is they hit a loop. Like, nah, this is exclusive. You either gotta have Game Pass or you gotta have an Xbox to enjoy this Overwatch 2. This new COD. You gotta have an Xbox or Game Pass.
I know they're going to do that. I know they're going to do that with most of the games.
They might not, because I mean I could see why they wouldn't. Just say okay, it's super exclusive, but I'm about 80% sure that it's gonna be exclusive because first of all, it's 70 billion.
Yeah, 70 billion. Like,
it's 70
you're
billion.
Looking at that and you're going, well, we better be getting something.
We ain't sharing nothing.
So yeah, most certainly the legacy games for Activision Blizzard, I would say all the ones that are not Call of Duty are most certainly going to be exclusive. So Overwatch 2, ain't no way in hell that's going to PlayStation. Ain't no way in heck. Any of the Diablos they come out with, ain't no way in heck they come. No way in heck.
No, sir. That ain't going nowhere. Get on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Can your PS5 download Game Pass? Oh, sorry.
And I'm just saying that because Call of Duty is as big as it is, but they could very well be like, nope.
That's why that's like the main thing that I think. Because I mean, Overwatch is like exclusive, and it does make money, and it has that effect to where, like, people are gonna be on this for years to come, based on, like, they got the what's the gaming pro gaming joint competitive gaming thing. What's the name of it?
Which one?
Either Evo, not Evo. It's fighting. What's the shooter one?
For pro.
Yeah, for pro, whatever that is. They got that whole crowd. So that whenever Overwatch 2 drop, is gonna be content creators doing it, live streamers playing it, and they're gonna have that those conferences and all that stuff, and tournaments, all kinds of crazy stuff with that. But COD is like, that's gonna be their bread and butter, like every year. Even if it does go to Sony, they getting a fat chunk. A fat chunk for that, man. Oh, but I found an article on right here. It says this was on January. They wrote this on the 18th, so this was today. They said Game Pass service has more than 25 million subscribers globally. $25 million. This is before the Activision joint thing. I think they just updated this. But
25 million. Let's
25 million globally.
Let's say charitably, half of them are subscribers in perpetuity. Like just the kind of people who just have it and don't like just pay for it and just because they got it. Man.
And think about this as well. The past couple years, because I know a lot of people, 2021 and 2020, a lot of people got Xboxes because of the PS5 shortage. Like a lot of people, Christmas time came, there was no PS5s to find. They were like, oh, let me get my kid a system for this, and that. And a lot of people bought Xboxes.
I believe it.
Because they're on the shelves. Like you go in, try and find a PS5. I mean, you got that money that you got to spend at the games. They're like, bro, oh, Target don't have the PS5. What's that? You got a Nintendo in there. You got an Xbox. Okay, Xbox.
My only thing with consoles is like we know for a fact that they're meant to be loss leaders because the price to make a console is like the price to sell a console, like that you sell a console for, is not that much more than most of these companies make it for. And that's specifically because they know they're going to get money on the back end from game sales for at least the next 6 years. So those always seem like investments when they come out. So that's why I look at it kind of sideways. I'm like, I don't know how much money I expected Xbox to be making off of console sales, especially in diminished years like these.
But do you think they're because I know they lost money with the is it Series X, the tower?
Mm-hmm.
I think they lost money with that, but the Series S, I think that's sold like crazy.
I don't know the exact sales figures for those, but the question of how much of a profit they made off of it. Let me find anything on it.
Because, boy, if a week ago on the Forbes list, they said that it may be selling as nearly as well as a PS5. I mean, ain't no PS5s out there.
Yeah, so they said on here on The Verge, a teardown analysis of the Xbox One S revealed an estimated bill of materials, as in like how much it costs to make it, of $324 per unit, which is $324 per unit, which is $75 less than the $399 launch price.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money to make an Xbox One.
Yeah. Especially you selling it for 4.
Yeah, so they don't make too much money off of those. So I do wonder what their profit is, but I don't know if they got any exact numbers on that, like per console.
I'm on this VG charts. I don't know how accurate this thing is. This is on November 26th.
Oh, I forgot about. Hold up.
Right now, this was in November last year. It's pretty close. It looks like Xbox Series. See, they have XS. So
yeah, I think they consider them both at the same time.
Yeah, so that giant. See, but that's the thing. It costs money to build both, so it's kind of hard to.
They probably sell them at the same. Like they sell them proportionally, probably. Which, I mean, I would hope so, or I would wonder. But I forgot about this. They got this article in CNET. I forgot about the whole Epic and Apple trial thing. Said Microsoft Xbox consoles have never turned a profit for Microsoft. An executive confirms that in the Epic v Apple trial, Microsoft has always sold Xbox consoles at a loss. An executive confirmed during the Epic Games versus Apple trial on Wednesday. An Epic lawyer asked Microsoft's vice president of Xbox business development, Lori Wright, about what profit margins the company has on its sales of console units. We don't. We sell the consoles at a loss. So
But yeah, because they sell the software. They're a software company.
yeah, so and that's the thing. Like any, that's specifically why any of these hardware companies for like consoles, like actual physical consoles, also want their hand in the software market because the software market is where they get their money. So Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, they're the biggest console makers out there. They are also always going to have some sort of first party division insofar as games because that's where they make their money from.
Yeah, end of November, it said PS5 total sales was at 13.8 million, and XS was at 8.4 million in sales.
Sorry, can you repeat that? The first one?
13.8 million for PS5. So the difference is 5.4.
Okay. That was by
million
November.
units. Yeah. And we went through Christmas, so that, the numbers probably shot up a little bit.
Yeah,
but there are no PS. For Xbox, because there are no PS5, so that joint probably went to 9, maybe 9.2. Still significantly low, but you take that 8.4 million and you say about 5 million of them got Game Pass. It's a lot of cheese.
That is
coming in every month.
Every month. Back in this is back in November 2021.
That's November.
Said Xbox Game Pass, the best reason on Xbox. They said, oh no, it's not.
Because imagine you got that 5 million, and on top of that, however many people on PC got it. And then I found out the cool thing about Game Pass is that you can link multiple accounts, so you can play it pretty much anywhere.
Oh yeah. Like I would be able to do it on my phone if I had the hardware.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Cause like that has to be the reason why. Like I'm looking at this, like 68.7 billion is a hell of a lot of money. So it's like you sitting there wondering how much money has Microsoft made off what is to them essentially nothing. Because like they made Game Pass, which like all that really needs is like a storefront, like for them to develop a storefront, and then like some sort of server. They have to pay for the licenses they most likely already have. So all they need is like the service, and they just put their games on there. Like they don't have to sell physical copies; it's just their digital games.
They already have the blueprint for it. They got the
It's like
blueprint. All they need is the studios.
All they have to do is host
the licenses.
It's like the licenses they may already have.
No, now they got Activision. Like they can.
No, like but insofar as like how much money, like was expected to be made by Game Pass over, like just overall, like the entire time.
What was their how much they expect to make?
Yeah. So it's like,
I think they. See, the only thing I would question is the PC sales. Like, I don't know how they would kind of gauge that.
I'm just going off,
or like how they would estimate that in terms of like the Game Pass sales, because they could easily say, okay, we plan on selling 10 million Xboxes over the next 3 to 5 years. So let's say we try to get 60% of those sales on Game Pass for the next whatever. So now that they have these studios, they're gonna have they're like, oh, Xbox have all these studios. That means they're gonna toss all the games on Game Pass, and everybody's gonna buy Game Pass and just wait. They're gonna buy it to play every game on there. Like, man, I never played this. Run through that whole backlog, and then on top of that, Xbox is gonna have their, the Forza, the Halo stuff, the Gears, all that. So I can't. This is a fat W,
Bruh, they were definitely on the ball when they developed this message.
Yeah.
Because this article came out in May of 2021. Said with more than 23 game studios creating games, more than 100 million monthly active Xbox players, and more than 18 million Xbox Game Pass subscribers, across console, mobile, and PC. Now, they might not be making money in perpetuity with their monthly active Xbox players, but you know that they are for 18 million Xbox Game Pass subscribers.
Yeah, you already
And
know. That's guaranteed money.
That's at least $10 a month, at least, for each one of those folks. So that is $180 million every month, at least, from this system that cost them little to nothing. Because all they have to do is host a server.
Yep. And then there are a lot of even though they do sell it at a loss, I know of a lot of people that buy I don't know why they buy multiple consoles. Like, cause Xbox got so many iterations and like the game fanatics, they'll buy it just cause it's technically like a new Xbox, even though it's like pretty much like a Pro or something, But what I plan on hearing from Sony, tomorrow, if they don't get on a live stream tomorrow on somebody's phone, I don't care if they're at their house. Somebody need to be on the phone telling people about freaking Spartacus. Sony
They're
Spartacus.
Gonna have a bunch of Japanese businessmen in their underwear, man. Talking about, we have released Spartacus 2 minutes ago.
Spartacus is supposed to be basically its own version of an all-in-one game subscription service. It's planning to merge PS Plus and PlayStation Now together, offering Spartacus. And it said it will likely be on PS4 and PS5 for a monthly fee, of course. And it's unclear to players whether they'll be able to access it on other devices. Though the report notes say that Sony is putting more resources into cloud gaming. Oh, brother. See, and that's the thing about Game Pass. Game Pass, they have hundreds of games on the cloud. They have it on 100 games on PC, on the phone. You can play it anywhere. And it says Microsoft plans to make game streaming sticks, basically a Fire Stick for the TV. And also, what I found out about Game Pass is that you can stream games like right off the bat. Like, it's not every game, but let's say I wanted to try out Outer Wilds. Instead of downloading that and waiting for it to install, I could have streamed it. Like, nah, this game too scary. I don't want to play it. So you just X out, and you don't have to worry about like uninstalling, doing none of that. You just basically like a demo.
I didn't know they had that. I thought that's what they were trying to avoid.
They have those, like, streaming the game.
Yeah, I thought, like, because that's what Sony's whole business model was, and it was terrible.
But that's because
that was all they had.
Yeah, you could only stream on there. Like, the Xbox had the option, and it's not on every game. Like, they're selective too. I mean, you trying to stream a 50 gig game that's demanding, like, all your computer power is gonna freaking suck. So I think they're real selective on who they choose to give that function to. But still, that's just a smart thing just to have. Like, yeah, you can stream this. You don't like it, just X out. You don't have to worry about anything. And they're trying to make it. They're trying to be everywhere and make it for everybody. And man, just wait till this dry summer come around, and then Sony won't have any game, because people were talking about Sony not having any multiplayer games.
Sony barely has.
And then I mean, they got games, but like, if you were trying to jump on I'm about to say COD, you can't do that.
Can't do that no more.
You trying to jump on COD with your homies, or it's all multiplayer. Sony, the last time they made a multiplayer game, like, just to like enjoy it, I can't even remember. Like, they made I can't remember the last time they made at least a shooter.
So yeah, so that's not really in Sony's market. And I think they actually
But they used to
say
though.
that.
They used to do that.
When?
The Metro series,
That wasn't multiplayer.
I mean, but it was I think they could have grew into like at least an option to have multiplayer, because that studio, that was their I think that was their first time making a shooter. I can't remember what studio that was that made that game.
That was Guerrilla.
That was their first time making a FPS, right?
I actually don't know what was the product base has been, but no, like Sony never they never embraced that the same way Microsoft did. Like even like Microsoft, like they came out with something like Gears of War, which was very much like an online shooter, both co-op and multiplayer. Sony never really embraced that as a concept overall. They had their like feet most certainly in single player games.
Yeah, but that's because like you had studios, you had 2K, Madden. I mean, people could pass the time in between games, because I mean, especially considering back then, you could probably get 2 to 3 AAA games in the same year from like probably one studio. Like now, it's taking way longer to make games. Like, bro, we waiting 5 to 4 years for a sequel from Sony. Then you got on top of the waiting list, you got Xbox on the other end buying up all the multiplats. The big multiplats that's gonna keep people playing your PlayStation.
Yeah.
While you have your dry spells.
Which was always like that was always like their business model. Distinction in between their business models. Like Sony had always leaned very, very, very heavily on their exclusives. It's like, you know, we make really, really good games through our studio, like all the studios underneath us. Make really, really good games. We release maybe a couple of those a year, maybe. And it's like those sell gangbusters, but we don't really care about like people playing these games in perpetuity, so we don't really care about multiplayer or anything like that. They come for us for like the exclusives, and if those are single player, they'll still make gangbusters. Whereas Microsoft really did embrace that sort of culture. It's like, you know, we want to sell games that people are going to play together in perpetuity. So it's like, insofar as it working for the both of them, I mean, we saw how they traded the crown over each generation. Like Xbox 360 certainly won a generation that it was in, and it was largely due to games to games and culture like that, where it was like multiplayer, like things that you were able to do with your friends. But then we saw freaking Sony come back, and they most certainly won the generation afterwards with PS4, and that was mostly embracing the culture of, you know, really, really, really good single player exclusives.
See, but that's the thing. You got to wait a whole generation to get to enjoy your console. Because everybody I knew that had a PS3, I had a 360. Everybody I knew that had a PS3 was on COD and occasionally God of War. But I mean, God of War was like, let me see, what other bangers came out with a PS3.
That was kind of the thing with PS3. I mean, they had a lot.
I ain't counting The Last of Us. That joint came out at the telltale.
No, definitely
that came out at the tail end.
For PS3, it still made gangbusters.
Oh yeah, all right.
You know what else came out the tail end of a console generation? A little game by the name of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Yeah, that's true. And Last of Us 2 came out the end of freaking PS4.
So like those games still make gangbusters. So yeah, definitely count that.
Wait, Resistance. I'm gonna go to the top 10. Skipping these.
See if I can guess.
Oh, Uncharted.
Yes.
14. Uncharted 1. It's 14.
Like 1, 2, 3 were on the PS3.
Yeah, it's PS3. Ratchet and Clank. Cracking Time.
That's how much that's
Infamous too. Ooh,
oh crap! I forgot about the
I
Infamous
forgot
games.
about Infamous, bruh.
Yeah.
Heavy Rain.
Oh crap! It sure was a PS3.
Dropped on PS3. And y'all lost? Resistance! Yeah. Resistance. I forgot about that. That was another that was a shooter they abandoned.
The Gran Turismo series, which has always been like a real big. Oh crap! Little Big Planet. I forgot about that.
Little Big Planet 2 drops. I mean, 1 was great. 2 was good too. 2 was good.
Well, yeah, like Little Big Planet on like the original was on the PS3 too.
See, but that was how many years in between was that?
Between what?
Cause I think it's in chronological. Is this by era? No, it's not in chronological order. It go from 09 to 2011 back to 2010. I was trying to see how it was in like chronological order, like which game dropped back to back. Cause I mean, you got Drake in 09. Then 2 years later, you got Uncharted 3. Then Demon Souls in 09.
Demon Souls, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, Gran Turismo is at 5. Infamous 1 came out in 09. See, so they had 09 and 11 was like, they had those hits in there.
Mm-hmm. And when
Metal Gear 4 came out. I don't know how good that game was. I haven't played the series.
I have no idea. I have no idea how good it was. It was like when you think about it, like those are 2 really big years for them, 09 and 11. But in between, they had the multiplats that
and they had God of War dropped in between too. It dropped in 2010. God of War 3.
In between, they had the God of War. Yep.
God of War 3 dropped right in the middle.
It's like say 2009 and 2011 were really
wait. Uncharted 1 and 2 came out. Hold on, wait. Was it 07 then?
Uncharted 1 came out 07.
Oh, okay. So there, yeah.
Uncharted 2 was in 2009.
See, that's 2, 4, 6 years. They dropped 3 games.
Mm-hmm. But think about what came out in between. It's like, okay, Uncharted 1 came out 07. Uncharted 2 came out.
I'm saying that's good. Like 6 years,
like,
you got 3 not blockbuster. You got 3 bangers.
Yeah,
in 6 years. Now even then, you gotta wait, bro. 6 years, you're getting 1, maybe.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing, and we are seeing what the difference is with that, especially now with the PS5 generation, because it's been how long since this mug has been out, and they've got what? Demon Souls, maybe Ratchet and Clank. And it's kind of bad because like the point I was trying to get at was it's like you were right in how dense these games were. It's like their first party games were like really good in like the odd years, like 07, 09, 11. Like those are really good years for their first party games. But in between, they had third party games that made gangbusters. Like in 08, they had freaking GTA 4 sold gangbusters. In 10, they had Red Dead Redemption sold gangbusters on any system that it was on. In freaking 2013, Grand Theft Auto was their best-selling game on that console. It came out in 2013, and that was a multi-plat game. So in between, they had games that could hold them up. They had Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, really big games that were able to hold them up during those times. And now those games come out few and far in between now.
If that. If they coming out at all.
Exactly.
Because it's like a lot of these studios, they're not really getting the love and attention that these bigger studios are getting. So a lot of gamers now, they're turning to indies, because indies like, bro, we can give you the same amount of fun at like a fraction of the cost, and it's gonna be quality. Like it ain't how it was back in the day, like extra omega pixelated these like weird computer games that weren't really good just because the technology wasn't there.
Yeah, it wasn't there yet.
I mean, but now, bro, you can You see suckers making a game with a team of 3, and that joint looking like that thing looking like God of War or something.
A team of 1 in some game, in some instances.
Exactly.
It's like looking at that generation, the PS3 generation, bearing that in mind, and going, hey, these were even some like gangbuster games back then, and even bearing in mind, like we said, they lost that generation to Xbox because of like how strong Xbox's culture was at the time.
Yeah, Gears of War 2 and 3. Yeah, and didn't 1, 2, and 3 come out the same life cycle? I think so.
For Gears of War, yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
1, 2, and bro.
This one was on Xbox 3.
Game was 1, 2, and 3 was crazy fun.
Yeah. It's like they embraced those multiplayer games that people play in perpetuity.
And they had Halo 2. Oh yeah. Oh no, Halo 2 came out on the Duke, the big boy.
Yeah. At least 3, 4.
Yeah, they had 3, but 2. I mean, 2. They were still hanging off the.
Yeah, the kids still
wave
off the checks to that.
Yeah.
Still cashing them checks.
Yeah, Sony needs to they need to open their mouth. They've been having the past couple years. They've been having these freaking booty butt cheek state of plays or whatever you want to call them, or Sony announcements, whatever the heck they're called. They've been trash. The last one I had up on the channel, that thing was
last one was absolutely trash. But also bearing in mind like what we're going through right now, and nobody had really anything to show. I mean, you can kind of see that with the output of games that we have right now. So I'd say the last one was trash, but it would have been trash for anybody.
I mean,
I think as far as showings, Sony has some pretty strong ones. Their problem right now is time. Which is like there's so much time in between the things that they can put out now. It's like it wasn't even this long in between the games that came out for PS4 that were really that big. Yeah. It wasn't that many games because it took more time to make them, but it still wasn't this much time in between.
And now they got the time that they're stretched with the actual making, and it cuts into the cost of their actual bottom line because they still got to get the consoles in people's homes. This is the only way y'all gonna make money. Like Xbox, they can make their money on these rigs.
Xbox, it's like you do not need to have an Xbox for Xbox to make money off.
To make money, so Sony they're like, we're gonna. That's why they're scrambling to make these PS4s because the processing chip for the PS5 is like super rare to find, or it's like it's being manufactured really slowly.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, look, we're just gonna make more PS4s because it look like the chip ain't coming. So you just think about they're reverting back to the making PS4 Pros in 2022.
Just breaks my little heart because all they had to do was not be stubborn. All they had to do was not be stubborn and not try and keep that crap exclusive to their hardware.
I mean, but the thing was, they were trying to. I mean, they had Xbox in a chokehold for like 10 years.
And I guess that's exactly what they were banking off of.
Yeah, they had them by the necks for 10 straight years.
As soon as stuff started getting much more connected, as soon as things started getting much more online with the freaking 7th generation, with the Xbox 360s and the freaking PS3's generation, as soon as that stuff started to get more interconnected, that's when Sony should have been on the at least been on the ball, at least by now. That's the thing that I don't get. Like, Microsoft has been embracing this for the last 2 years, 3 years at least. Sony should have been on this by now, and now they're scrambling to try to make themselves a bit more open. It wasn't that long ago these motherfuckers were talking about we are never ever doing crossplay
until they saw them numbers.
Now they're looking at the numbers. It's like, we might have made a miscalculation.
They said Fortnite made how much? Oh yeah, you can play with whoever you want. Xbox, gaming laptop, a phone. You can play with anybody. Yeah, they saw them numbers. Like, bro,
we might have made a bit of a miscalculation.
It's like, and I don't know if that's like it being like a cultural barrier, because I know the higher ups are of Sony. They are in Japan, so I don't know if that has a part to play with Xbox being here and everything is more accessible. I don't know. I'm sure they have an American division, but I mean when you're when the person who write them checks say no, it's like it ain't happening. It ain't no leeway.
I can almost guarantee. Like I know the crossplay had a lot to do with, I think, like a cultural issue insofar as they probably thought, they didn't want anybody else to interfere with their bottom line. Like they didn't want to have to rely on anybody else for their bottom line. So they probably were thinking, nah, we'll keep that to ourselves. It should be our own thing. The same thing Nintendo does. Which is like we won't integrate with anybody else on this because this is our own thing. But at the same time, Sony has had a lot of issues in the past. There's plenty of issues in the past regarding security issues, much more than Microsoft had. So they were probably also a bit wary about that. Like back in, I think it was 2011 when they had the big hack.
Big what was they called? Lizard Gang or Lizard
something like that.
Them lizards, man. Hacked millions of. I think. Hold up, did I get hacked?
Sony hack. Who was that? It
was like lizards or something.
It was lizards, something like Lizard Group or something.
I think I got hacked.
77 million registered PlayStation Network accounts. So coming off of that, that just happened in 2011. Coming off of that, Sony might have been thinking in 2017, 2018, no, we don't want to open ourselves up to something else, like something like that again. And if we were to enable crossplay, we would have to open up our infrastructure just a bit in order for it to accommodate PC, Xbox, and all these other consoles and everything like that. So it will probably be a little bit wary. So I will give them the benefit of the doubt for that.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that being something in the back of their mind, or at least the forefront, saying I don't want to do that. But because it's Sony, I know these suckers did it because it's Xbox. I know they did it. They're like Xbox. My boot been on your back this whole generation. No, why the heck would I make you money? No. and then look, you can't make your can't make your consoles, which is your sole thing of income. I mean, yeah, Sony has, as in totality, they have the movies and but that's a movie. I mean, yeah, you're not gonna see that money until this generation is done, pretty much. So
Lizard Squad, that's what it was.
Lizard Squad, yeah. So it's gonna look nasty for Sony. This year's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be ugly. Everybody gonna be they're gonna try to peddle these PS4s to people's houses. Bro,
oh my
it's
God.
gonna be sad. Man, I think this is the first time I've actually been into the ecosystem to see the switch happen. Cause I was just living my life as a little kid. I'm like, oh, PS3, I ain't really got nothing I like. Oh, let me get an Xbox. Then I'm playing Xbox. And then I'm like, PS4, oh, they got these games. Oh, let me get a PS4.
Yo, I was blissfully unaware back then.
Yeah, I didn't. The transition, it just happened. I was just an organic, just part of the little ecosystem. But now now that we're in there, we the numbers, all this stuff, bro.
Yo,
this is beautiful to see, the flip.
I was sitting because we had just come out of, I was training this one dude, one of the new employees, and we came out of inspection and we went off to lunch I ordered my lunch, man. I sat down, the first article that popped up at the top of my screen, I saw that acquisition, I saw that number, my jaw dropped. This dude came over to the table. He was like, "What you looking at?" I was like, "Activision Blizzard." Oh yeah, I know. It's
yeah, I see, man. Bruh. I see. I think I was on Twitter. Oh, cause also I found out two crazy things. That and then Scott stepped down as CEO. He stepped down.
Scott.
Big Scott. Scott. with JJ Watt and them from HEB.
Oh crap! Really?
He stepped down.
I mean, he would never leave that job.
But see, and I got another speculation, but that's a video for another time.
We gotta spread the content.
Yeah, we gotta spread it. But I think we kind of covered what we need to cover. Yeah, this is crazy. $70 billion for Activision. Ooh, bro, COD finna have Halo skins in COD. You're gonna run around as Marcus. It's gonna be crazy, man.
God, bro.
I can.
Exclusive Dom skin.
RP the legend. Spoiler alert.
Maria. Goodness gracious. Yeah.
This is gonna be interesting to see, especially around E3. Cause I think they canceled it again. I think it's gonna be virtual again. Well, at least that's what they plan for. Cause Cali is still looking rough.
Yeah.
But they're planning for virtual. But boy, I think the business deal should probably be done. I can't even put a time on it. I'll try to look it up and see how long it'll take. But I already know they're in the works of having all that stuff going to Game Pass. I already see that. Everything going over there.
Yeah.
Straight on over. But yeah, that's all I got. You got anything else to add?
Just the fact that I am gobsmacked still. Like I can't even fathom just how massive and out of left field this is. All I can hope for is like it brings some better days forward insofar as these games are concerned, because
I mean they're on the right path for sure. They
I mean not even insofar as Microsoft is concerned, because of course they're expecting to get, they're expecting to make dividends off this, or make a return off of this. But even insofar as just like the quality and the culture where Activision is concerned, because we know that a lot of the a large part of this acquisition had to have done with, or had to have at least encompassed where Activision is right now in the public eye. So I really am sitting here wondering overall if Microsoft went in there and got themselves a bit of a deal because of the public reception that Activision has right now. Like, it's still a lot of money, but I was sitting there thinking, I didn't think Activision Blizzard would ever dare sell to anybody.
They literally struck while the iron was hot. It's like, look, you in a situation that it's only gonna get worse. Let me take that off your hands. let me hold that real quick.
You got lawyer issues. You got litigation issues.
Like, bro, your people, and it's the perfect storm. Like, people are gonna come in. Oh, we got. It's not Activision anymore. This is ex-Microsoft Activision. We got new people, new management, yada yada yada. And the employees probably come back, and Microsoft's gonna bless them. I would hope so. They, I would hope they compensate these people.
That's a whole
and fix these conditions, but
that's a whole other thing. I couldn't even say if I would hope that the conditions would get better, but I know for a fact Microsoft is looking at this whole lawsuit that's going on, and they're probably looking at it and going, "Yeah, we're inheriting this mess," but they ain't about to make good on any of this. I don't think. As we're concerned, I mean, those were the issues of the old management. We knew management. We don't have to acknowledge that. We don't have to do anything about it. So I wouldn't be surprised if we never heard of it again.
Yep, they finna sweep this under the rug.
They're right under the rug.
Yeah.
Like, listen, that was y'all problem with them. That ain't us. We ain't got nothing to do with that.